Hello my angels and devils and all who may wander here. I'm Amanda Christina, this is Heavenly Imaginings, and this is a spoiler alert. Corn, beautiful, beautiful sweet corn, if you do not want a little happy mail I've been working on for you spoilt, please do look away. Feel free to watch if you would like to see it. I'm someone who struggles to not watch things when I know it's for me. I'm like, I want to know, and then when I get it I'm surprised because I forget about it. But I still have to make a little something for Handsome, so yes. Anyway, giving Corn time to walk away. Okay, now I have, as you know, I bought the Australiana and the road trip pads, which are basically a matching paper, 6.5 by 6.5 and a 12 by 12, and I took out half a dozen sheets of the 12 by 12 and 6 to 10 of the 6 by 6.5 by 6.5, and I basically did progressive flip books. Now, what that means is out of the 12 by 12 sheets, I cut out a ton of different die cuts, tags, little pockets. What else did I cut out? Tags, pockets, doilies. I think they were the main things I cut out. And then out of the 6, I used the 6 by 6 to decorate and to create some little bits. So here's what I created. Now, I don't have the wooden flourishes for this, and I do not have the ephemera packs, which I would love the ephemera packs. So this is what I created. This is the first flip book. Now, this one is a little bit bigger than the other two, because this was the main flip book, and then I sort of progressively used up what I had left in the other flip books. Now, I did use some of the ephemera that comes in the 6.5 by 6.5 pad. So this is this just says "You're in my thoughts" with a little bit of the wattle paper and some gorgeous, I don't know, get the light a bit better here. Hang on, turn that off, turn my brightness up, there we go. I don't know if you can see how gorgeous, although my camera now decides not to focus, these little enamel sugar drops are. They came from AliExpress. They are very cheap. They're like $1 something a packet, and for someone who doesn't normally buy things like that because they are not in her budget, I have bought a few packs recently just to have on hand. So then I just put Australia the lucky country, which is something we are known as, and I used a piece of the matte paper from the smaller paper pad. Then you open it up and you have part of a doily, which was one of the things I cut out. You are wonderful in every way, because let's face it, if you've ever watched Corn's channel, she is wonderful in every way. And then there is a mix of just tags that I cut out of. There's a lot of them, because I just thought Corn shares so much of herself with us, it would be nice to share with her some Australiana. So I've just got different sizes of tags in the different papers that I had cut out, and I tried to pick things that were a bit unique. So flora, fauna, these were the ones that I used for cutouts, and then I used more of the sort of floral theme stuff and whatnot for the actual flip books. So then this is just a little tuck spot I created. Then you have this is one of the little pockets. Now, I believe this is, it's either, I don't think it's Lifestyle Crafts. I think it's, I can't think of the name. It's a branded die. I've had it for years in my stash, and I know Corn, that was the other thing I die cut. I die cut some mason jars. I know Corn loves her mason jars, and I just thought it's autumn for them. It's autumn-winter for them at the moment, so I just thought these earth tones would be really beautiful, and they're just such a unique little thing, and I love how these all match together. This is from part of the strip for the Australian mat, which you'll find out what I did with in a minute. Then you open the flip book up. Hang on. Should I? Yep. And then there is this little tuck spot, which I did a bit differently to how I normally did. I just left the top open and glued the bottom down. Normally I would use my 3D foam tape, my clear foam tape for that. And what I did is I did something I hadn't really thought to do before, which is I used a little bit of glue, although I glued the piece in upside down, to just glue the top of these sheets. So it's like she has her own little paper pad with some sheets of each of the papers that I had been using in her book. So that is And then that is where I used the rest of the map, because I wanted her to have the map of Australia piece and I wanted to use it. Then we have this piece here, which is a little pocket, and it just says countryside sightseeing, and of course with the beautiful, beautiful Kookaburra paper. That's one of my favorites. I don't know, I just had this thought, this is what I wanted to do. And then we have the beautiful Kookaburra and the other paper. These were just leftover pieces just to make that look pretty. Then we have the beautiful wattle paper, and we have some of the doilies I made. Unfortunately, they didn't all cut out. So this doily piece that I have, which is a prima doily, definitely needs a shim. It really does, in order to cut out. Like, you'd probably just be better off putting some white copy paper under it to help it cut the top layer out, because it really only works in one layer. But I just added some of these beautiful handmade doilies, which I need to line back up so that I can put in her little pocket thing so that they don't get bent. And then in this little pocket that I made, we have just a third of a pack of the enamel dots, because I just thought they're so pretty that I had to share. And then these are, you know, the strips at the top of your page. This is one of the things I meant to share out of my, when I was doing Halloween crafts, is that I made a whole lot of little page flags with those strips that you get across the top. And I thought I had added more ephemera to this. Oh dear. Well, I didn't add as much ephemera in here as I thought I had, so I'll go back and fix that later. So we've just got a few little bits of ephemera: kangaroo crossing, outback life, road trip, and the little koala. I thought I honestly had added a few more to this, but they must have gone into other people's a bit more. There's a little bit of glue there. And that is Corn's flipbook. So let me just pop that to one side. Then I don't have any idea who these are for, but I think the progression goes this way. This way, or was it this way? Let me open both and I'll tell you. So this one has life was meant for good friends and great adventure, which I really loved. And then it's just a belly band. And then this one says you are wonderful in every way. I think that is the, hang on, I need to check. I'm pretty sure that is the next one. So what I mean by progressive is I started one, and then as I got less stuff, I did. No, this is the second. Is this the second one? Yes, because it's got bigger. Okay, so this is the second one. I did. Now, as I said, what I did is I did this as a progression. So as I got, so I didn't cut into new sheets of paper. I didn't want to cut into new sheets of paper. I wanted to use up what I had already started to use. So the Thinking of You Today and this tag are from the actual 6.5 by 6.5 pad. There's some page flags and some little bits of bling in there. Then we have, what I did is, because these were too small to have the full little pocket I made, the little paper bag thing, I cut a strip off the bottom, glued the bottom, and then made them in, and then glued the bottom of this one and made two. So I think I did put more ephemera in these because there was less other stuff. So there's some ephemera and stuff in there. Then you open it out, and I forgot to decorate that bit, but it just says just a note, and then there's a little bit of paper in this one, which was leftover bits, and then you have a little top pocket, which I think I'm going to be doing again. I really love that, of little mini tags and some of the mason jars. So that is the second flip book. I was thinking that one of these would be for Liz Nixon, who won, I think it was Liz who won one of my giveaways, because she's not super into Halloween, and I thought, and I know she really loved this paper, so I thought it would be maybe a nice thing to send her rather than sending her a pack of my Halloween goodies. And then the very last one, now this one I was stretching to try and do a little bit, so I had to go back and pull some things out of other things. This is a little bit that I cut from Corn's little pocket, and then it's just got some mason jars, and then you've just got this beautiful gum nut paper at the back, which I absolutely love. I'm not sad that I have two sizes of this. Then we've got some little tags and some bling. And then this is just a piece of a doily that I'd already cut into, a piece of another little pocket that I had made. So there, and then as you can see, I think I did put a little bit more ephemera in these, just for the fact that I was looking at them going, you know what, this person isn't getting as much of the paper and other stuff. I like to be generous with my flip books and things. So I always feel like when there's not a lot, it feels a little less generous to me, but hopefully the person who gets this will still like it. Then there's just whatever little offcuts of paper I could find, and then just I made a little flat, like with the little with the little flags I had made. And this little piece of ephemera, which I fussy cut from one of the pages. I cut up one of the pages of ephemera in the 6x6. I just did a little like camping time flag, and then yeah, so that's just it. And this is just my little, what I did is I cut this piece first. So basically these all make one 12x12 sheet of cardstock. And then what I did for the belly bands is I cut into another piece just because I didn't want to make these any smaller. I think that's just a nice size. I think these are the smallest flip books I've ever made. And then I don't know why I was in a belly band mood, I think. And I really like that you get the two sayings on that. So once you pop that back on, and then I just really liked the things that they had in the little pack. So that is my Australiana flip books. Please let me know what you think. Would you be happy to receive one of these? Would you feel like the smaller ones were not quite enough? I'm not sure. I always worry about not being generous enough. I don't know why. I know that it's handmade and it's still special, but yes, that's something that does kind of stick out in my memory, as I don't ever want to have someone feel like they're not getting as much as someone else. But as I said, I wanted to do this as a progressive thing. Bonnie, you would be very proud of me. There was very, very little waste from the papers I did cut into to use, except for, unfortunately die cutting does create waste. I have to really think about that. But what I tend to do with my die cutting is I will cut the paper to as close to the die cut shape as I can, so that I don't have that issue where I am wasting a lot of stuff, because I am very, very conscientious of that. That has been one of my big things this year, which wasn't actually something I set out as a goal this year, but I have been very conscious of my paper waste when it comes to crafting. So again, let me know what you think of my little Australiana flip books. I really hope that the people that are going to get these will enjoy them. I sometimes craft without knowing who things are for. Corn did comment on one of my videos with the True Romance paper pad, and she absolutely loved it. But I had already started on this, so I may make another project with her, or just gift her some of the papers from the smaller version of the pack. So yeah, because I thought sharing a bit of Australiana with her would be a little bit more special, because of the fact that this is something not common in there. I mean, they get Kaisercraft in America, and people could probably buy the Australiana paper pack, but I just thought it was a little bit special coming from Australia, from an Australian. Anyway, I will talk to you soon, my angels and devils. Remember, as always, you are incredible. You are amazing. And yes, you out there in Cyberland, in the real world, you truly, truly do matter. Bye all.